So the following is a review of multiplying fractions and dividing fractions. Rational numbers are just fractions. So 4 times 2/3 is the same thing as 2/3 plus itself 4 times. That's the definition of multiplication. Okay? That's equal to 8/3. Let's look at these factors in this product and see if there's a connection between them that we can use. Alright, so 4 times 2 is 8, and, well, this really is a fraction. It's 4 over 1. 1 times 3 is 3. So based on that, this should also be true. Let's change this to 4/8 times 2/3. Since 4/8 is a half, that's the same thing as saying a half a group of 2/3, which would be 1/3. Alright, let's see if that is the case. If we multiply the numerators and the denominators, will we get a third? 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. And 8 goes into 8 once, and 8 goes into 24 3 times. So this does simplify. So multiplying fractions, multiply the numerators by the denominator. Multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. Okay, so 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 10 is 30. This would simplify to be 1. Alright, let's look at dividing fractions. 3 divided by 2/3 is another way of saying take 3 objects and divide them in groups of 2/3. That's what division means, to take in groups of. Alright, so I've split these 3 objects into thirds. I want to take 2 groups of 2/3. That's 1, 2, 3, and then these 2 here are another group of 2/3, and this is a half. So 4 1/2, which is the same thing as 9 halves. 4 times 2 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9. So, let's see if there's a connection between these values and this value. Uh, 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. So there's some sort of strange cross multiplication thing going on here. We don't normally do that when we divide fractions. What we do is we just multiply by the reciprocal, which is to say we leave this fraction alone, 3 over 1. We multiply instead of divide by the reciprocal. So we flip this over, and we multiply directly across. So that's 9 halves. Alright, so the shortcut for division is to know it's just multiplying by the reciprocal. So given any division problem, let's say we were given 5/8 divided by 9/5, we can change that into a multiplication problem. 5/8 times 5/9. 5 times 5 is 25. 8 times 9 is 72. And since none of these had any common factors, there are no common factors here. This is used for simplifying complex algebraic fractions, which we're going to look at in a couple of days. And this we can use now if we were asked to actually expand a polynomial expression that had fractional coefficients. You should be able to simplify that. So let's take a look at an example of that. If we were asked to simplify this or expand, we would use FOIL, or just multiplying, or the distributive property. Okay, so we're going to multiply 2/3 x by 5/2 x, which is 10x squared over 6. 2/3 x times negative 1/8 is negative 2 24ths x. Okay, because this had an x on it. Now we're going to multiply the 5 by both of these. Remember, 5 is 5 over 1. So multiplying here we get 25 halves x 25 halves x is positive. Let me write that a little more clearly. So it's positive 25 halves x. And 5 times negative 1/8 is negative 5/8. Alright, now we have to combine these two terms because they're the same. They have the same variables, so they're like terms. 2 24ths plus 25 halves. This is the same thing as saying, if we multiply the numerator and the denominator by 12, we'll get 300 24ths. So this is really negative 2 plus 300, which is 298 24ths. Minus 5/8 of 298 x over 24. Now we simplify the fractions if possible. 5/8 have no common factors, so that's going to stay the same. So that's part of our final answer. 10 and 6 have a common factor of 2, so that becomes 5/3 x squared. And 298 and 24 have at least a common factor of 2. 2 goes in here 49 times. 2 goes in here once. 4, 9. 149 times. 149 over 12 x. Alright, so I believe this is simplified fully. 149 doesn't have a lot of other factors. So you could be asked to do this, and you should be able to do it. Alright, have a nice day.